Please join me in gushing. Namo Amidas. Namo Amidas. Namo Amidas. Namo Amidas. I'm going to get my talk from down here. I'm seeing all of you closer up, not towering over you. So today I want to focus on one of Buddha's teachings. So I've got some questions for you. They're not quiz questions. It's just like how you think about certain things. The thing I want to focus on today is impermanence. So this is a big, important teaching for Buddhism, that things change. We see this particularly during our weather that we've had recently. Things are starting to bloom. It's delightful. Right? We're seeing all of these changes in nature happening around us. So nature is one place where we can see change. In our tradition, right, we have these beautiful flowers on the altar. One of the reasons why we have flowers on our altars is to remind us of that change. Right? That things that are beautiful will also grow old. Right? Beautiful flowers today will also lose their sparkle in the future. So there's that side of things. There's the side of impermanence in Buddhism that is, get ready, things may not be so nice in the future. But I want to focus on a different part of impermanence. I want us to think about ourselves. So when you think about yourself, what's changing about yourself? Right? This is a question that I think everyone can ask themselves, but especially those of you in Dharma school. Right? Your lives are changing a lot from day to day, from week to week, from school year to school year. So in Buddhism, one way we can think about the change in ourselves, and you know this, we love lists in Buddhism, is something called the 5 skandhas. Okay, so this is kind of technical, I'm trying to make it relatable. The 5 skandhas, skandha is a Sanskrit word which means a pile of something or a heap of something. And this is one way that Buddhism teaches us to think about ourselves. Right? We are not a single, unchanging thing all the time. Right? If you've seen the movie Inside Out, you know, like there's internal parts of us. Right? So one way to think about this is we are internal parts that change. So the first of the 5 skandhas, I'm not going to quiz you on this, but I'll run through them again at the end, is form. Form. So rupa, which is your physical form, right? Our bodies. Okay. Everybody pat yourselves on the arms. Okay. See, this is your rupa, right? This is your form. The thing you can feel, the thing we can see. How is it changing? What are some things that change really quickly in our bodies? This is where I'm asking if you want to ask questions. I asked the Grace, she's got a little cricket sound on her phone, so when I ask a question, nobody says anything. Minister's assistant's up to no good while our sensei is away. So what are things that change about your body? Age. Okay, so age is how we measure that through time. What else changes about our bodies? Hair. Our hair grows, right? We lose our hair. Teeth. Yeah, even our blood is moving around, right? Many of you are getting taller. Some of us are getting shorter. Right? That also happens. So our bodies change over time. So this is one place where we change. The next category, form, feelings. Now in Buddhism, this has a really specific meaning, this concept. Vedana is the Sanskrit word. Feeling, when they're talking about feeling, they're talking about a function in our mind which has 3 reactions to things. I like it, I don't like it, I don't care. Right? So that's the Vedana function in our minds. I like it, I don't like it, I don't care. And these can change over time. So my wife, Amy, really doesn't like Ed Sheeran, the singer. Like, she has a really strong, I don't like reaction to that. So like, his voice comes on the radio, and her hand moves faster than you can see. Turns off the radio. Right? I don't think that's going to change over time. But many of our likes and dislikes do change over time. What's something that you used to like, but you don't like anymore, or something you don't, or the other way around, you didn't like, but you do like? Avocados? Do they eat avocados? Nine? You used to hate pink, but now it's your favorite color. Yeah, so that can change over time. And you used to hate it, so it's really strong dislike. Yeah. So this is something that changes in us, the things we like, the things we don't like. They can even change over the course of the day. It's interesting, Buddhism has that third one, I don't care. In Buddhism, that can also be dangerous, right? If you see someone who's suffering and you're like, I don't care. Right? Buddhism wants us to, I don't like someone else hurting, right? That's a virtuous way to think about it. As we change through life, things we didn't care about, we suddenly care about. How many of you care about mortgages? Right? Maybe some of you, yeah. Some of us care about mortgages, but some of us don't. I don't particularly care about like hardware for toilets. Like it's not something I'm overly invested in. I don't know anything about it. It's something I like. It's just my Veda now is like, don't care. But people in the facilities and grounds here at the temple, they care. I like that. I don't like that for our toilet situation. Okay. So form, feelings, perceptions. So in Buddhism, perceptions is recognizing things and labeling them. Right? Recognizing them and labeling them. What's this? It's a book. It's a service book. Yeah. So your perception is active. You're recognizing it, you're labeling it. We're not doing a projection today, or I was going to show you something, but there's this story in Buddhism that shows up in a lot of different traditions of someone who walks into a dark room and is frightened because there's a snake in the room, right? They see the snake and they're totally afraid that the snake's going to bite them and they're going to get poisoned and that's going to be the end. They turn on a light and they see that it's just a rope. So this is, in Buddhism, how our perceptions can change. If we see something, we label it one way, and then we label it another way. There's this Netflix show that my wife was really into called Is It Cake? Has anyone seen this show? Is It Cake? Right? It's bakers who make things that look like everyday objects but are cake. Right? And before the knife goes in, you don't know. Your brain is telling you, I perceive this as a telephone or whatever. Then the knife goes in and you're like, I perceive it as a cake and now I want some cake. Your Veda kicks in, I like, right? I like cake. So you've got your perceptions. Form, feelings, perceptions. Impulses. The urge to act. Right? You know, you get that, you're like, I just gotta get up, I gotta move, or I've gotta do this thing, or I've been studying for a while and suddenly, I don't wanna study, I wanna go do something else. Right? These impulses. This is part of us. And they change too, right? Absolutely. Yeah, they change throughout the day. They change based on what you're doing. Some of you may suddenly be having an impulse, like, I want to get out of here. I want to go to Dharma school, hang out with my friends. So that's impulses. So we have our physical bodies, which change. We have our feelings, like, don't care, which change. We have our perceptions, our labeling and recognizing of things which change. We have our impulses to act. And finally, consciousness. Now, how we use the word consciousness in the West, probably many of you are like, well, some of that's already consciousness, right? I'm conscious of a thing. In Buddhism, they're really talking about kind of awareness of things. It's a little upside down that this comes after perception, because for me, I feel like I see a thing, I know there's a thing there, and then my brain says, microphone, not snake. Yeah, microphone, right? So in Buddhism, we have these 5 skandhas: form, feelings, impulses, form, feeling, perception, impulses, and consciousness. They're all us, right? They're all part of who we are. Like as we go through our day, sometimes our feelings are really strong. We're really caught up in, I don't like this thing. Sometimes they're not so strong. Right? There's something else going on. We've got our impulses to act become more important. Or we don't like something and we have an impulse to act based on that. So in Buddhism, all of these things are meant to teach us that we change a lot. We are impermanent. The flowers on the Onai-jin are impermanent. The flowers, the beautiful flowers on the trees, and please get out. We're starting the cherry blossom season here in this area. I've got a plum tree in front of my house, which is just like popcorn, and it smells Amazing. There's nothing like that. Very strong, I like about that tree. Very strong. So get out there and enjoy impermanence, but also know that you're impermanent. Like you're changing too, from moment to moment. And as I said early on, the story of flowers is a kind of one sad way of looking at impermanence. These things are beautiful and they'll disappear. The cherry blossoms are beautiful and they'll fall away. But there's also hope in impermanence. That's what I want to leave all the Dharma School kids with today, all of you students, is hope. If things change, you can change. If you're feeling bad about something, it's going to change. Nothing is going to stay the same. And so in that there is hope. There's hope for growth, there's hope for change. So Buddhism teaches us to be aware of impermanence, and its lesson is a reminder to enjoy today. But also, if things aren't going so well, look forward to the change that's coming in yourself and around you. Okay? All right. Please join me in Darshan. Namo Amida. Namo Amida. Namo Amida.